Welcome to this latest edition of Republic Open Mic Viewers. This is a special podcast on a very, very special topic today that we are going to discuss. And for that, we have a very special guest with us. We have Miss Vanita Keswani. She's a soul teacher and a healing practitioner. And a very warm welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much. And, this is, of course, a very interesting topic, something different than news that we are going to talk about on Republic. And, you are an expert in soul teaching and, how to apply soul power. I would like to just begin by asking you what really is meant by soul power.
Great. First of all, I reciprocate the feelings of gratitude and thank you that you thanked me, and I should be more than thanking you for agreeing to bring me on. And this is a topic so close to my heart. So let's move on to answering your question. See, what is soul power? So we all have taken many, many reincarnations, and we carry something called the reincarnated soul. And we also have an original soul. And both have immense power because all the things that we've been in past lives carry that information in our reincarnated soul. And our original soul has tremendous power. So we can actually use the power of both these souls as and when required by speaking to them. And my spiritual teacher, has a patented technique called the say hello technique, which simply teaches us how to speak to our soul.
Right. And Miss Vanita, you are, a student of Global Miracle Soul Healer, I'm told. You're a leader and humanitarian. You're also one of the best-selling authors for NY Times, New York Times, and also you're Master G. Rangsha. So you have, of course, a lot of expertise in this field. But if I could just, as a layman, to understand about these things in today's time, we often get so blinded by what we consume around us. And and the noise that we listen to every day, whatever in daily lives, interacting with people generally from all walks of life. This is for everybody. You go through good, bad, ugly. And, how do you really filter out those things for your soul, ma'am? I would first, really get started on that.
Yes, like I said, we say hello to our soul. And everything has a soul. A business has a soul. This podcast has a soul. So when I say has a soul, soul can be defined very simply, rationally put, as information. Soul is equal to information, content of all that particular aspect carries. So for example, if news is being broadcast, then it has certain information. Now, how can we create any information by speaking to the soul of that information? Negative to positive is what we wanted to really speak about today, in terms of how we can avoid being only influenced by outside and speak to our inside, connect to our inner self, our soul, and ask it to transform the negativity and offer something positive to the outside.
Right. And, we get really consumed by these things. When we consume, be it the content online or on air or what we, interact with, we have to interact with all sorts of people, especially when, everyone is working these days, men or women. And, we can always absorb those things. We like it or not, we tend to absorb everything. So do you think that there has been there are increased consumption, so to speak, of all sorts of energy these days, given the fact that we have so many mediums now, so much of media to consume every day, from our phones to TVs to even everyday life?
Absolutely right. I would say, but it starts with an inner awakening. If you want to really move inward, right? So it has to strike someone to be aware that you're consuming something that's bogging you down in something. If you're enjoying consuming, then even overconsumption is different. But if you are getting bogged down with that, that is what we are talking that should not happen. So overconsumption of, say, for example, comedy, entertainment, happiness, or whatever really people like, is still a different way of looking at things. Like a lot of us do work where we really overwork, right? So overwork when it's joy and it's not affecting our mental health, physical health, and we're really enjoying it, there's no concept of overwork then you're doing it with joy. So consumption is always overwhelming when it's overconsumption with a negative mindset.
So how do we really, you were talking about awareness. So how can we actually detect that, this is going the negative way?
Yes, you will get your soul speaks to you. So first try to be aware, like whoever's listening today. That's the message that I want to send out to people, that look inside, just close your eyes when something negative comes to you as information. We all know what is negative, right? Something that we do not like happening in our environment, whether it is, news of all kinds that we receive, right? Suicide cases, COVID, wars, all those kind of things are termed negative. But when we look at them and we get aware that we are not going to be consuming this by dwelling on it too much, right? We will not get overwhelmed by it. I have seen some people who are over consuming it by just constantly looking at the same thing again and again, then speaking to others and just saying, oh my God, did you hear this? That is just increasing the negative information that you can actually transform if you speak to your inside and try to transform it with positivity. We all saw it in COVID.
And with COVID, do you feel that there has been, of course, people have gone through different phases, be it the loss of loved ones or just being, confined to the premises, realizing that, how do they really spend time with themselves? It has been awakening
Absolutely.
of sorts. How do you see things have changed since then?
It's a game changer. Anything that comes, there's no pain, no gain. And in spiritual terms, there's a law called the yin and the yang. So there is no light when there is no darkness. It's only that when you want to immerse yourself and cry over darkness, or do you want to move towards the light? Do you want to take that quantum leap? So COVID was a great time for spiritual healers, seekers, all those people who are service providers. Everybody went out of the way that time, right? Even simple ways of service, people started making groups of service, students started raising their frequency to doing service and all kinds of things. So that is what happens when you want to take up the leap and take something negative and convert it into positive.
Yes, and that was, you just mentioned the COVID era, or when COVID actually struck us all, a game changer. But I've also read about in one of your publications about the soul light era. There's something called the soul light era. If you could just enlighten us on that, what does it really mean?
Yes, thank you so much for bringing that up. So our teacher, Dr. and Master Zhigang Shah, talks about this era, and almost all spiritual people know that the frequency of earth is shifting. It is actually being uplifted. So this era actually started in August 8th, 2003. And now earth is gradually transitioning. When someone has to move up, they have to face challenges, isn't it? Anything you go to, if you want a promotion in your job, you need to really work harder. You need to show that you can win over challenges. So like that, if Mother Earth has to move and uplift its frequency, it has to go through a lot of purification in spiritual terms. And since Mother Earth is purifying, it requires us all as humanity who are living on Mother Earth to also rise our frequencies. If we do not do that, if we do not connect to our souls, then we are soon going to be feeling more and more out of sync. So that's this era where we are proposing to everyone that it's no longer just good to know, good to have information about knowing your soul, applying meditative techniques, talking to your soul, applying soul power, but actually it is pretty much a mandate for everyone.
But how does one really get inspired by this, ma'am? Because as you mentioned, meditation practices, and I've spoken to many people who are not really keen on doing it. I mean, they wonder that, how is it really going to solve my problems, so on and so forth. So how does one really get to understand and change their ways, mend their ways, whatever you might say, so as to, better that energy and listen to the soul further or more than ever.
Yes. So if people are not inclined to meditate, like not go inside and sit down in one corner and, visualize light, the typical kind of meditation, it's okay. But say hello is a very simple thing. So for example, give me any situation that can be a challenging situation. Let me give you a live example of how we speak to the soul of that situation.
Yeah, so suppose I've seen, or maybe suppose I've gone through, I've had a fight with a very good friend of mine, and I feel completely misunderstood. And then, of course, then as you were saying that, you keep thinking about it, so you magnify the problems, then I will keep thinking about the other problems surrounding it, right? That, why people they don't understand me, I am always,
Yes.
I come up with a good intention, so on and so forth. So
Yes.
those can be very, challenging times that, mentally, emotionally at least.
Absolutely. So very simple, right? Everything has a soul, like I said. The relationship has a soul. You both, your friend and you, have not come to this life only first time. You both carry some information against each other. So if there's something negative that someone gives us, it just simply means that we have been negative towards that person in past. So what do? We close our eyes and say, dear the soul of, we call the name of that person, soul, not the person itself. You don't speak to the person and say sorry. We just speak to the soul of the person and say, I deeply apologize. Please forgive me for whatever has caused this to come up between us, right? It does not matter who was at wrong and right. Yeah, we do not wish to carry this frequency. I wish to release all that is not serving our relationship, and I give love to the soul of our relationship. And then you chant any mantra that you like. It could be greatest love, greatest forgiveness, it could be anything. And you invite the soul of your friend to sing with you, to chant with you, to bring more love, peace, and harmony within your relationship. So these are simple practices. And I work with an agency. So I'm just giving you another example. At work, the soul of a meeting, the soul of a client, the soul of a boss, the soul of your colleagues, everything exists. We can speak to everybody before we go into the matter level, like what is touch and feel is matter, right? We can first bless the soul. Master Shah says, heal or transform the soul first, then the heart, mind, energy, matter follows. And he has written this powerful book, which is called The Power of Soul. It's a New York Times bestseller. It has n number of things that you can actually grab and apply in your lives without doing the traditional meditation of sorts, but by just speaking to your soul.
Right. And that's very interesting. That's very interesting. In fact, this is another way and a quite simplistic way, I think, that you've just told us and shared with our viewers. But, there are times when you just get so overwhelmed that you just don't really, like in that typical, the slang or the so-called Gen Z language, no, my brain is not braining. I don't understand what really to, how can I process this? What has just happened? I don't know. I simply do not know. What do we do, at least, even if you're not able to address a soul? Because, should we just completely turn away from that negative moment? Should we just shut our eyes or, shut our ears? What do we really do in such a situation?
It is the best to actually just give love to the situation. You can shut off, but you can say something. You should see, shutting off and ignoring is no positivity. It's just running away from a situation. But if you can give love to the situation, compassion to the situation, for example, if there is a war declaration or there is something that's coming up, can we say, dear the soul of this condition, we offer you all our love and compassion, and can we make a prayer to the divine? Can you please bless our land? Can you please forgive us for all of humanity's mistakes? Because all these things are happening because of the collective karma of humanity.
And what happens that, just like you raise this example, you raise this matter up. Suppose a war-like situation happens, many such incidents happen. There's a lot of polarization. There are different opinions for and against a particular group, a particular, community, or anything for that matter. People get divided. Even your own friends will be having divided opinions. You might not always agree with your own, own people, your own friends. So in such times, there is a lot of friction that actually starts erupting. So how to really handle all of that without letting your emotions getting overpowered and then vitiating the atmosphere around you?
Absolutely. Again, the answer to everything is that's why I'm a soul teacher. I apply different situations and I offer simple invocations, prayers, or whatever you want to call it, which is called the soul hello technique. So, for example, you again you connect to your soul. You don't connect to your heart. If you're connecting to your heart, you again give love to your heart, right? And you say to anyone, and you say to yourself that I choose not to be into any kind of division of judgment, discrimination. I choose to stay grounded. I choose to stay only to the facts and not to any kind of discrimination or judgment. That's important.
And that's actually quite, I think it could be very, very powerful if really practiced very regularly. And I think consistency might be the key over here. But the invocation you're talking about, it's different for everybody, of course, who they choose to really, invoke the prayer for, isn't it?
Absolutely. So that's why I invite people to be coached by me. And, once they see the effects and benefits, there's no looking back, because the application of soul power can transform lives in a very deep way.
And that's, of course, very important to understand in today's life, ma'am. But if you could just help us understand that, how does it vary? Is it more because of this busy lifestyle that such issues are cropping up even more? Because you meet people from all walks of life, isn't it? And different age groups, I'm sure. But who are the most affected? Or you can say, what is one factor that actually affects the majority of the people mentally, emotionally, on a soul level?
I don't think we can generalize something like that, because spiritual wisdom suggests that everything is based on the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. We all carry past life causes made by us as well as our ancestors. These days, there is a period of our ancestors honoring that's going on in India. We call it Pitru Paksh. It's very important because the ancestors are closer to Mother Earth at this time. Planetary forces are in such a way. And it is a fact that when we pray and when we get them into the light of the being of the divine and heaven, and etc., just connect to them, apologize, forgive them for their mistakes, ask them for forgiveness. I think the most common thread is forgiveness. And forgiveness is not at the body level, forgiveness is the soul level. That is the common thread that will be for every age group, for every aspect, whether it's finances, business, relationship, career, news, or anything like that.
Right, ma'am. So just to throw more light before I let you go on how to in fact invoke this prayer, if you just could give us a nice crisp example that, whenever you face a challenge and this is what you need to do, just a starter's kit.
Yeah, a starter's kit is, so, dear the soul of, speak about the challenge. Suppose that, dear the soul of my challenging relationship with, or dear the soul of my finances and career, dear the soul of my relationship with, whatever the challenge is. Everything has a soul. Dear the soul of my emotion of anger. So the first is you address the soul of the challenge, and then you give it love. And you ask for forgiveness from that soul, because it is because of you and your ancestors' mistakes that has to carry negativity. So you accept that and you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I'm here to accept the law of cause and effect, and I'm here to offer love. So let us forgive each other and let us be in love, peace, and harmony.
Right, ma'am. That's, of course, a very beautiful message, and we don't really get to hear, such words. We often forget, it's so simple, isn't it? It's not that difficult, but sometimes I think we need maybe elaborate procedures, Not everything might need a surgery, right? Sometimes it's just a little bit of a little bit of some little tablet, or maybe some very small nuskha can actually a small remedy can do wonders.
Yeah, this is nuskhe only, and this is soul power nuskha. And it is like, Master Shah calls it the 1 minute healing. Just say hello to the soul and do soul forgiveness, give love. He says, greatest love melts all blockages. Love can melt all blockages, not human love. This is unconditional Tao love, source love. He calls it Tao. Tao is the source, creator of everyone and everything. So if you would like, why don't you close your eyes and let me ask you to repeat after me. Being a journalist, I have a small soul power invocation. Would you like to do it with me? Okay, close your eyes, sit up straight. And repeat after me in your heart. Dear the soul of all the news that is negative, that I am the messenger to convey to humanity, I am deeply sorry that humanity's causes have led to your carrying this negativity. I humbly call all humanity to receive this negative news, all the negative news, with a heart of compassion and not complaint. And I ask the divine to bless us all with more love, peace, and harmony. Let us all say, I forgive you unconditionally. Please forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Thank you so much. And then you can open your eyes gradually, see how you feel.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a good break, I would say, more than anything in between. It's a good breather to, in fact, look within, and it's beautiful. And with that, thank you so much, Ms. Keswani, for joining us on Republic's open mic and sharing these wonderful little formulas, nuskhas, remedies, whatever you might call it. It's a very simple remedy, I think, because we all are looking for quick remedies, isn't it? And I'm sure that there is much more depth to it as well, but it's always good to learn something new. And I'm sure our viewers have learned a lot, and I'm sure that they are also introspecting as to how simple it can be to
Yes.
deal with the daily issues in life, ma'am.
Absolutely right. So I'd love people to, whoever's listening, to follow me on Instagram, Happy Heart and Soul. Ask for the book if they want to read the Power of Soul book. I have a PDF version of it. If you would also like to read it, I would love to, send it across. So happy to offer that to everybody to know more about how you can use these simple 1 minute or even lesser than 1 minute techniques in this digital age of, AI and, fast and speed. Yes, our soul catches up even more than us.
Right, ma'am. Appreciate you joining us, Ms. Vanita Keswani. It's an honor having you, and thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.